If you've been involved in resistance work over the last few months, especially, I'm sure that you feel like these big resistance organizations move as slow as pond water, and a lot of people are sitting twiddling their thumbs or hanging out on social media rather than actually doing the work necessary to get us where we need to be long term. Not immediate fixes, but long term, replacing what we have right now and what is forming in its wake. We can fix that, and I'm trying to put something together that does address those issues and gives the agency and the autonomy back to the individual and the small group. Power to the people, ground up. Grassroots, what it actually means is you start from the roots and you grow up. That's what I want to do. Authoritarians centralize their power. We're seeing it right now with the Trump administration. I hate using that word, Trump administration. This is a fascist authoritarian regime, and it's centralizing power. You see our institutions failing. Our leaders are not meeting the moment. Meanwhile, our traditional activism, it drowns in meetings, long-form writing, and documents, and you've got the gatekeepers that want to control everything. And by doing that, they kind of turn into the things that they're fighting against. They are using the ground forces, the activists that are on the ground doing the work, and a lot of times people are just waiting around for their marching orders. The fortunate thing about these efforts that I'm doing is that the people are already there doing the work. They are organizing on their own. They've got their own projects they're working on. In my recent piece, I talked about the librarian in Wisconsin that has developed a spreadsheet with all of the local sheriff's departments and information concerning those sheriff's departments and their stance on these ICE kidnappings and immigration enforcement for, that sounds pretty sanitized, but that particular effort is something that other individual groups or cells or teams could benefit from. It's just a matter of connecting those people up, finding out in this particular case of this librarian, what were the lessons learned? What friction did she receive? What could have made her job easier for future projects? What would it take to make those more effective? And that's kind of what this effort is a way to build a collective knowledge while allowing everybody to operate in their own fields and their own projects. I guess I see myself as a thought leader to some degree, but thought leaders in contemporary America, you picture personalities, influencers, and things like that. I have no desire to be the face of any of this. I see myself as just someone that wants to enable. I've spent my time doing the work and putting my name out there and being the face of various resistance movements over time. A lot of it is more anecdotal, personal. For example, as an interrogator and a screening interviewer, I often dealt with human trafficking, not in the way that you would think sex trafficking or things like that. These would be workers, often male, from third world countries or developing countries, and they were fooled into working for the U.S. military bases under contractors by a headhunter or, some sort of a broker in their home country. They would be told that they were going to make, let's say, $1,000 or $1,500 a month, which would be a great deal of money for those people and their families. Unfortunately, when they entered Iraq, for example, they would be held by these contract companies and not paid until they found work for these people. Often they lived in really bad conditions, and I would experience these conditions through interviewing and talking with these people. So that human trafficking that was going on, they would finally get jobs on the U.S. installations, cleaning latrines, picking up trash, menial tasks usually that They didn't want soldiers, or they didn't want to pay American contractors exorbitant amounts of money to do. So they would get these guys on the base, and instead of the $1,500 a month, maybe they were paid $300 a month. So huge cuts in what they were told. And oh, by the way, they owe $5,000, $3,000, $10,000 even dollars to the headhunter that got them over here. So they're literally trapped in this situation for years, working as basically slaves. And, I would work in these environments, become the face of the resistance to that sort of thing. Meaning I had to argue with a lot of superiors and really push the issues, and also be there for the individuals who were experiencing this. I couldn't do things. I couldn't directly influence their situation. I had to work around it. I was very limited, and it's draining. It's draining when you're floating around there in left field. You don't know how you're going to accomplish the mission. And oh, by the way, since you've stepped forward and put your face and your name to it like I did, you can imagine the type of bullying and attacks and unsafe conditions that I found myself in sometimes. So I don't have the desire to be that face anymore. I'll do it if I have to, but my goal is to enable all of those people that are like me and want to do these projects, and not have to sit there and wait for a larger entity to organize us. We go from the ground up. We do not wait for orders from on high, whatever that on high might be. They might just be high. I don't know. I think I'm falling short with my writing on explaining this, so I wanted to start creating videos and engaging with readers and viewers about what it is that I'm trying to do and give a better understanding. A lot of my documentation is high level and tries to explain where we're headed. But I want everybody to know that it just starts with you taking the first step and networking with people like me who will do what we can to help you. And in my travels and in my coalition building, theoretically and in practice already, I will be able to identify issues that one cell is having and connect them to resources from another cell without jeopardizing OPSEC, physical security, and those sorts of things. It's a very lofty goal, but it starts with understanding that I'm not here to control these operations. I want to just help. And we all can do this. Find the people that you trust. Start talking to them about what you would like to do. Some of them will want to jump on board and help you. Others may spin off and decide that they want to do something else. You keep those connections. You keep purity politics out of it, and you focus on this overall goal of we're not going to engage with these assholes on their identity politics, on anything that's inconsequential. We are building standard of living, and we are building parallel structures that when the government institutions fail, and we already see that they're failing, otherwise Trump would already be in a prison somewhere, at the very least. But as they're failing, we build what should replace it. We make them autonomously separate, and as those systems fail, our systems just take over. I hope that I'm explaining that well. I could tell you the reasons why I think this approach will work, but it just starts with taking that first step, explaining the work that you're doing, allowing me to catalog it and organize it on my own, with the information you're providing, keeping the communication open between us, and being honest about where it's failing, what we need to make it succeed, and finding the people that will help us accomplish all of those things. I've mentioned it before in my writing. I would say right now, individuals that I directly interact with to some degree, there's probably 100. Those people are often part of other groups that have numerous other people involved. So this network already, without me doing a lot of my high-level stuff that I want to do, is already on its way. I just need to map it all out. And part of my difficulty is I want to make sure that the people that I'm mapping out and writing about and getting on board with the resources that they need and stuff, that I'm doing everything without stepping on their toes or revealing too much information. And it's going well so far. I'm in a kind of the pilot phase right now of getting people more on board with the higher level ideas of parallel structure, pre-configurative politics, I believe is how it's termed, where we're not working within the system, although that might be some of the projects. We're building our own system, and fuck these guys. Just fuck all of our so-called leaders that have dropped the ball. I don't know about you, and I'm ranting a little bit here. I don't know about you, but personally, in every aspect and phase of my life, for all of the adult life, so I'm looking at almost 30 years now, there are leaders that shouldn't be there. They're not actual leaders. They fail us, and they ignore the frameworks, the rules, the laws when it's convenient for them. I always talk about living in the societal facade. It's been a facade. The bad people have been doing bad things, and most of them, if they have money or status, have been getting away with it. We can't count on our politicians and our judges to have the moral fiber, the backbone to do what I'm trying to help us to do. I hope that I've explained this. Man, the format's a little weird for me. I ramble a little bit, but I hope that I've explained it, and I'm open to questions, and we'll probably do more of these videos where I'm answering questions as they come up. But thank you guys for watching. I'm not anyone special. Like I've said this before in other videos. I do think that I'm smarter than average. I have some skill sets. I have a backbone, and I have the willingness to do the right thing even whenever it's painful. So I'm leaning on those pretty heavy. I know a lot of you are doing the exact same thing, and I'm here for you. Thank you guys for listening.